Welcome, everyone. Thank you for coming tonight. We're going to get started a couple of minutes early. I'll ask if everyone will please stand after Councilman Walker leads us in prayer. Okay, again, thank you everyone for coming. We're going to go ahead and jump into this. We got a pretty lengthy agenda tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get started. First item on the agenda is to consider approval of minutes of November 2nd, 2021 regular session.
I'll move the approval of the minutes.
I'll second that.
Okay, at this time we have Councilman Adams, the motion, and second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carried unanimously. We'll now close item 1 and move on to item 2. Item 2 is an update from Mr. Richard Bonney. Okay, I'll need you to press that button.
Before I forget. Mr. Mayor, Council, thanks for having us tonight. Really appreciate it. I know you got a busy agenda, so we won't take too much of your time. I got with me Tony Mize, our board chair for this year with the Chamber of Commerce. We have a few board directors here. I just want to name them real quick, and if they're here, if they could just stand real quick, and the ones that aren't here, apologize for not being here. We have our chair-elect, Dr. Tony Rundles with Greater Hope Church of God in Christ. Our vice chair, Susie Castillo with Lighthouse Realty. Our treasurer, Keith Nilsson with Northeast Texas Credit Union, our past chair, Linda Seaborn, Classical Gold Enterprises, Jeffrey Crabb, Diamond Sea Trailers, Colin Cowan, Cowan Inspection, Brad Lowry, Pilgrim Bank, Cassandra Carnes, Maven Realty, Roger Brandon, Pilgrims, Tim Pugsley, Titus Regional Medical Center, Hayden Luker, Sweet Shop USA, Kim Hedges, Titus County Cares, Lisa Maldonado, Express Employment Professionals, and Shelton West, Elliott Auto Group. So on behalf of all our board of directors, we're here tonight to just say thank you to the city of Mount Pleasant for all that you've done for us, for all your help. Most people don't see the work we do behind the scenes together, the synergy we have, the joint efforts. I just want to, on record, state a few things that we've worked together over the last couple months for those who don't know and see what's happening behind the scenes. Earlier this year, we had a leadership program. We have different business individuals that came and toured all the different departments of Mount Pleasant. All your city directors took hours out of their days to explain about their different departments, what they do, those type of things. We appreciate their time and effort for doing that. Our Cinco de Mayo festival on August 28th is our biggest event that we hold. Close to 20,000 people come to that event. It is a huge operation. We can't say thank you. All your departments are involved in that, helping us get in on a Friday and out by Sunday morning by 5 a.m. We can't tell the Parks Department, Ricky enough for all his help and his team, and the Streets Department, street sweeping at 3 in the morning after that event, taking out the trash, the Chief McCrae and Chief Buman to make sure we have a safe environment, all those things. It is a huge undertaking of time and resources. We can't say thank you enough for making that event so successful. Such a successful event that neighboring communities have canceled their Cinco de Mayo event because this is the Cinco de Mayo event to attend to in Northeast Texas. So we appreciate that. And then 2 weeks after Cinco de Mayo, we had our Serve Mount Pleasant Day where we had 84 volunteers come help clean up Delwood Park, Heritage Park, did some work at Root Haven, did some work at the college. But this was 2 days after we had the grand opening at the sports complex. And the Parks Department was there again 2 days after that event at 7 a.m., ready to help us paint lines, clean up branches, all those things. We didn't hear a word of complaint, and they just said, what can we do for you? That level of service is not found in other communities. We think it's special. The relationship that we have, your support of our business community is something unique. It's something we're proud of. So on behalf of our over 500 chamber members, we want to say thank you for support of local business, for your investment in resources and time and making our downtown look beautiful during the season. There's so much going on that a lot of people in our community don't know what they do, what you do. We just want to come tonight to say thank you for all that you do, and we appreciate your support of business in our community.
Good evening, guys. Just 20 years ago, I came to this town and what have you, and what a difference this town is compared to back then. You know, I'd never dreamed all of the things that, and the people that I would meet and the relationships I've been able to form over the years and what have you. But one thing I can definitely say is that through all the time that I've spent with the chamber and the various years that I've been with the chamber, I've never been a part of a group of the people that have been as supportive of the chamber as what the group is in the last couple of years. And I just want to take this opportunity to say thank you from the chamber, from the executive board, the board of directors, just on behalf of all of us, let y'all know how much we really appreciate you. And we also have something we'd like to present to y'all if we could for just a moment, and then we'll get out of y'all's hair. Thank you again for all you do.
This is a picture of Cinco de Mayo, an aerial view of downtown, and then it's a changing picture. So then it shows the whole group together at the same time. So we'd like to officially present this as a physical token of our thanks that we have for you and appreciate all that you do. So we don't know exactly who to present it to because we have everyone on the council and city manager and departments to thank, but we'd like to officially present this to city council saying thank you for your support of the chamber and our community and especially our business community. So thank you.
Mayor and council, let me just say that that we say the same for the chamber board and Richard and their staff. They've been very supportive of what we do, easy to work with them, very accepting of us, and we appreciate all they do too.
Okay, that was awesome. I want to thank you guys at the Chambers for all the hard work that you guys put in with the businesses in the community. All right. Okay, at this time, we're going to go ahead and close item 2 on the agenda. Item 3 on the agenda is to consider approval to cancel the December 21st, 2021 regular meeting.
Oh, yeah. Yep. This is the council meetings on December 21st, second meeting of December. We just wanted to make sure everybody's going to be here and want to do it. There's a couple of council members not going to be here. We would consider canceling it. If you're going to be here and fine, we'll have the meeting.
Floor open for motion on the item.
I'm going to be here.
Well, question, so even if we're here, do we know at that time, will we have that many items on the agenda to discuss that's that important? Because that's the week of Thanksgiving and people like to spend time with family. And Christmas. So, I think it would still be worth considering canceling that meeting.
If the meeting, if it's scheduled, there will be things on it. If it's not scheduled, then we'll heavy up on the first one in December and then first one in January. So
What I was asking was do you know that far ahead out, is there going to be anything important that needs to be discussed on that particular day because of time constraints?
Henry's testing me here. So everything we do on a council meeting is very important. But let me just say that, but it is far enough out that we have not scheduled any public hearings or anything like that. Do you have something scheduled for that night? Go to the next meeting, yeah. So it's far enough out. We haven't done any of that yet.
I think what Councilman Chappelle was getting at is if it's anything of high importance that had a deadline. Okay. All righty, with that settled, we have a floor open for a motion on the item.
I'll make a motion that we approve to cancel the December 21st regular meeting.
I second it.
Do we have a second? Okay, motion fails, lack of motion. And that, we'll go ahead and have that meeting on the 21st. Okay, we'll go ahead and, not cancel. We'll go ahead and continue. We'll go ahead and close item 3 on the agenda and move on to item 4. Item 4 is to consider approval of pay requests from H.H. Howard and Sons, INC, for work on the New City Lake Spillway Bridge. Mr. Buck?
Mayor, Council, it's always a privilege to be here. Thank you very much. What you have before you is pay estimate number 3 for Howard and Sons for the New City Lake Spillway Bridge. This is for $153,539.95. Majority of it is for the flowable field, the bridge, and the irrigation line that was installed out there. It's for the period of September the 26th through October the 27th. And we're about 72% through the money and about 59% through the time as of this pay estimate, with about $26,000 in retainage. So we believe that they're actually further along than what this pay estimate says. We're wanting to do a walkthrough this week, so they're real close to finishing out. But that's what the agenda is.
Okay, are we satisfied with the work and you recommend for payment?
Yes, sir. We are satisfied with the work, and we do recommend payment.
So when do you think it'll be ready for the folks to actually access the bridge and use it?
Next week.
I passed by this afternoon on my way in, and it's almost done. Matter of fact, I think they're moving some equipment out now. So.
Yes, sir. We're actually having the final walkthrough. I think is scheduled to be Thursday, and let the concrete settle a little bit, but we're essentially ready. And I will mention that, of course, we have to get the vegetation established, but that has been seeded.
Okay, if there's no further questions, this item is open for a motion.
I move for the approval of the pay request for H.H. Howard and Son, INC, for the work on the New City Lake Spillway Bridge.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Walker, second by Ms. Sproul. Madam Secretary, record the vote, please.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously.
Mayor,
Yes.
Mayor and Council, just wanted to say just quickly that H.H. Howard and Sons is a great contractor. They did a really good job and were very responsive to us and did it quickly and good job.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll go ahead and close item 4 on the agenda. We'll now go to item 5, which is consider approval of proposal for new playground equipment for RL Journey Park.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. The item before you is a proposal for a new playground, like you said, in Journey Park. So in your packet, we've attached the proposed playground and a couple pictures of the current dated playground. So with that being said, I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Have you used this company before?
No, ma'am, we have not. They are a reputable company. It's been around for several years. They've changed names a couple of times over the last 30 or 40 years, but we're trying to spread the money out with different contractors, different playground manufacturers. So this is the next one up.
Hey, Ricky, in this rendering you have of the new park equipment, what is the material that's on the ground there between the equipment there? Do you know what type of material that is?
So it's a 5-bar mulch playground surfacing.
But like, is it similar to the mulch that's at the sports complex over with the playground, or is this a different type of mulch?
If it's not the exact same, it's very similar. Yes, sir.
The reason I'm asking is several folks have told me, like on the playground at the new sports complex, when their children are out there playing and they take their shoes off and they have their socks or barefooted, that mulch is very tough to their feet. And I know they make a rubber-based type mulch that is a lot softer. And not only that, but it helps with impact. If they fall, it'll help minimize breakages and stuff like that. So just wondering what type of actual material that was.
So this is a wood fiber. What you're talking about is rubber mulch. It's significantly more expensive for that, as well as the grass turf also. So currently, this is what we're proposing just for cost.
But Ricky, is it it's more costly, but is this an inferior product that we're using?
Absolutely not. I don't believe so. So this is widely used across not only the state, the nation. Obviously, cities that are in better shape financially and went with a plan to put other products in. Obviously,
I'm pretty sure one of the councilmen, councilwoman probably asked, is there a way we can get a pricing for both and see what the difference is?
absolutely.
Ricky, when will this be installed?
So we're looking at 12 months. 12 weeks from tomorrow.
Are we able to recover any cost on the old playground as far as the metal for scrap metal material, from that standpoint?
So usually when you demo a playground, most of it is obviously you can see it's old, and the concrete that it's in the ground, usually it's unusable. But absolutely, we put it in our scrap bin. Whatever money the city recovers off of it, obviously, is deposited in the general fund.
Okay, council, we have any further questions? Floor is open for a motion.
I make a motion that we approve the proposal for the new playground equipment for RL Journey Park, and at a price of $57,990.43.
I second the.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilwoman Spruill, second by Councilman Walker. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 We have a unanimous vote. This time we'll go ahead. Thank you, Ricky. We appreciate you.
Thank you.
We'll go ahead and close item 5 and move on to item 6. Item 6 is to consider approval of resolution 2021-32 for the sale of lot 2, block 1 in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors. Mr. Arlene.
Mayor and Council, this is a tax sale that's brought to us by Tim Taylor. This property is located on Ella Street, and they have asked or proposed $500 for this lot.
Floor is open for a motion if there's no questions.
I'll move the approval of resolution 2021-32.
Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
Yeah, we have a motion by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carried unanimously. We'll now close that item on the agenda. We'll move on now to item 7 on the agenda. Item 7 is to consider approval of resolution 2021-33 for the sale of lot 21B, block 160B in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
Mayor and council, again, this is another tax sale brought to us by Tim Taylor, attorney. This property is located in a wooded area south of East 8th Street, which has no dedicated street access. It says the closest street would be North Forest, which does not appear to be presently maintained, and they have put a bid in of $500 on this property as well.
Okay, floor is open.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2021-33 for the sale of lot 21-B, block 160-B in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
I'll second the motion.
Have a motion by Councilman Chappelle, second by Councilman Adams. Madam Secretary, record a vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carried unanimously. We'll now close item 7 and move on to item 8. Item 8 is consider approval of resolution 2021-34 for the sale of lot 16, block 160B in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
I think this is the third with 2 more of these to go. This is another tax sale. The property is located on an easement south of East 8th Street. Its old city plats refer to the easement as East 7th, but has never been paved. There is enclosed plats for review, and this property is also had a bid put in for $500.
Okay. Floor is open for a motion on the item if there's no question.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2021-34 for the sale of lot 16, block 160-B in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
Second.
Motion made by Councilman Chappelle, second by Councilwoman Spruill. Madam Secretary, record a vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carried unanimously. We'll now move on to item 9. Item 9 is consider approval of resolution 2021-35 for the sale of lot 11B, block 160B in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
Mayor and council, this property is located at 619 North Forest Street, and the bid for this property is $1,000.
Floor is open for motion.
I'll move approval of resolution 2021-35.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. We'll close item 9 and move on to item 10. Item 10 is consider approval of resolution 2021-36 for the sale of lot 5A and part of 5B, block E, Denman Addition in the city of Mount Pleasant to AKJ Contractors.
This property is located on Cecilia Drive, and the bid for this property is $5,000.
Floor is open.
Make a motion to consider approval of resolution 2021-36.
I'll second that.
A motion made by Councilwoman Spruill, seconded by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we'll go ahead and close item 10. Item 11 on the agenda is to consider approval of resolution 2021-31 to participate in the national opioid settlement.
Good evening, council. This was on last agenda and y'all have asked me to get some more information on it. So the litigation was against 4 drug companies. It was Johnson & Johnson, McKesson, Cardinal Health, and AmerisourceBergen. They settled for $26 billion. The amount that the city was going to get was actually in 2 different settlements. One was for $65,199, which was going to be distributed to us over 9 years. The distribution amount is about $14,191 a year, and then the second amount is $12,000, which we'll get the first year, and then we'll get another $12,000 in July of the second year. And so, what this money can be used for is basically anything that prevents drug use. And so anything that can be tied and justified to prevent drug-related incidents for use, we can use it for park lights, or we can use it for cameras in the parks, anything like that that will cut down on drug-related crimes or drug-related incidents for that. So that's what it's for. And basically, if we agree to this opioid settlement, it just basically says that we cannot sue these 4 drug companies in the future. So that's what this settlement amount was for.
A question, would we have any reason to sue those companies?
I wouldn't think we would, no.
We don't have any plans currently to do that.
Mikhail, do you have any knowledge as to how each city was determined, how much each city could qualify for in this settlement?
So it depended on, like, some of the cities got more because they were actively participating in the lawsuit when it first started. And so the rest of the cities were divided up based on the population and the amount that they considered the products between the Johnson & Johnson and your population, and what they considered the opioid crisis in your city. So that's how the rest of the remaining cities were divided up. But the ones that were actually involved in the lawsuit got a bigger share than the cities that did not participate in the lawsuit. And so we were not actively involved in the lawsuit at the front, and so we can just participate in the settlement now after the lawsuit's finished. And so we're getting a smaller amount than the initial cities, but we are the total historic combination is going to be like $26 billion is what they ended up settling for, so that the cities don't sue. And so they settled for all cities, these 4 companies, because they don't want any other city to come back and try and sue them in the future.
We don't happen to have an idea how many cities have actually accepted this already.
Your email here says it will be around 406 cities, if I'm reading that right.
That's correct. I was looking in the PowerPoint to see the number.
So question, Mikhail, on the J&J, am I reading this correctly? The J&J deal and the distributor deal, it shows a total of $80,175.32. Is that how much we'll receive over the course of 9 years? And I think, I'd like to say that, I think it would be wise to use this money, for park cameras, because we definitely need those, especially in the new sports complex, but they can be used in some of the other parks as well.
Yes, sir.
That is our plan, if we could buy the cameras for the parks.
And let's not get cheap cameras just because we can buy a bunch in bulk. I want to make sure we get good, high quality, high def cameras that have good remote access for the ones that are going to be utilizing those cameras.
Well, let's go ahead and open the floor for a motion. If there's no further questions about the item, to see if we can approve it first.
I move for the resolution 2021-31 to participate in the national opioid settlement.
I second that.
Okay, we have a motion by Mr. Jerry Walker and second by Mr. Henry Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. Okay, we'll go ahead at this time and close that item on the agenda and move on to item 12. Item 12 is a presentation of a plan of finance for sewer vacuum truck.
Thank you, council. Last council meeting I came, and we requested permission to purchase the sewer vacuum truck for $446,000. We reached out to look at several leasing options, and we reached out to Government Capital. They wanted to give us 3.75%. I reached out to Guarantee Bank, and theirs was at 3.25% for 7 years. So we just recently did a refunding, and we came in at 1.19%. So I reached out to Jim Sabonis over at First Southwest and said, what can we get if we bid this out to local banks like we did our last, refunding that we just did? And they thought we could get, they're being very conservative, around 1.5%. So I asked them to put some numbers together, bring that plan of finance for y'all tonight. Jim couldn't be with us. He had a previous engagement, but Jorge's with us. He's presented before y'all before. And so that's what he's going to present to y'all today is what that plan of finance would look like. Again, we just recently did that refunding at 1.19%. And so I'm pretty sure we're going to get pretty close to that, but we want to be conservative with where the market's moving, and they're thinking around 1.5. I'm thinking we're probably going to get closer to that 1.9. So Jorge's here, and he's bought a PowerPoint to share it with y'all.
Okay, thank you, sir, for coming.
Absolutely, Mayor, Council. Good afternoon. Jorge with Hilltop Securities. Happy to be here in Mount Pleasant this evening. As Ms. Reeve just said, we've been asked to put together a plan of finance. Since the city is in a position where it needs to replace the water and sewer cleaner equipment truck. And this entails the same process that the city just went through back in August for your refinancing bonds. The whole goal here is to go out there and see in a competitive process what type of interest and proposals we get. Obviously, the proposal with the best #1 interest rate and terms most convenient for the city is the one that's going to be presented to you in your next regular council meeting. This is you giving us the green light to go ahead and implement this plan and set up the process, work through Ms. Reeve to formally market these tax notes, using a tax note to finance the water and sewer cleaner truck. It would be a 7-year financing. We structure that with minimal payments in the first couple of years, and then the bulk of the debt service is wrapped around your existing debt profile. The whole goal is to minimize any budgetary impact that you, if you do issue this tax note in the future. Ms. Reeve mentioned a 1.5, which is very conservative, as she said. We just kind of want to budget for now, but you did get a 1.19 on your refinancing. Now, that was back in August. Rates have come up a little bit since then. But that was an 11-year maturity, and this is a 7-year. So all things equal, 1.5 is very conservative. I suspect we'll be below that, and I hope that when we're back here, we'll be giving you a very good result, should you choose to move forward. the city would repay these out of the utility fund. And again, it's wrapped around your existing debt profile. We're not going to get a rating. We're not going to put together an offering document. This is a private placement. But we have your rating reports out there, your recent ones, and your credit strength and profile hasn't changed since. We'll make sure to make all the potential bidders aware that where the city is in the rating perspective, and they understand that. So I think it's a very nice size of a tax note to put out there too. There's a lot of interest in different sizes of debt issuance, and this is a sweet spot for a lot of institutions to gather into. We'd be back here on December 7th, and if you move forward, you close on December 29th, you would have funds in the bank then.
It's good to see you here tonight, by the way. Could you kind of just talk about when we add in the fees and the financial part of it, what it costs us to actually do this debt, plus the whatever the percent, is that a nominal amount? That's not gonna put us up close to the 3%, is it?
So that's a very good question. I think there's certain fixed amounts of fees in any type of financing that you're just going to be there. And so we kind of have to take a look, back up and take a look. Okay, we had a really good interest rate, but what does this compare to the other proposals that Ms. Reed has seen? And we're going to take a look at those from an apples to apples perspective, and really say, with the financing costs that you really can't get rid of, legal, financial, attorney general fees, the winning bidders may have a bank counsel that reviews their documents, nominal fee there, but those are most of them will be there. Some might be added on, and how that compares to any type of proposals that Ms. Reed has gotten. So we'll compare it against those. Absolutely.
So, Mikhail, he mentioned something about closing it towards the end of December. Just a question: is this particular vacuum truck, is it available now, or is it be special ordered? Or I just don't want us to lose the truck if we have to wait that long to get financial approval.
The next item on the agenda is a reimbursement resolution. So the plan is to fund it out of our fund balance and reimburse the fund balance. So we can go ahead and buy it right away. That's what the next agenda item would be, should you move forward with this one.
Is it, are we leasing it or are we purchasing it?
We are purchasing it. It's significant enough value that this is one of those types of equipment trucks that we want to keep for a long period of time. This is not one of those ones that we want to lease.
And Anthony, what is the life expectancy if it's well maintained? And does this truck come with a pretty good warranty?
Yes, ma'am. This one did come with a good warranty. I think it was 10 years for the back truck, and then it was like 6 or 7 years for the chassis. So it was real good. I apologize. And then the life expectancy is anywhere from probably 10 to 20 years, depending on ours was like almost 11 years old. I think it was like that. But the chassis part, I found out from the mechanics that it was not any good, and that's really kind of what failed on us, the main part of it.
And the reason I'm going down that road with you is just practical experience through my husband's family's business over the years. Since this is a long-term asset for the city, believe it or not, are we getting adequate? Are we getting what we really need? We're not cutting it too close this time because it is a long-term asset for us.
Yes, ma'am. That's a good question. And we actually looked at about 4 or 5. Actually, had them come down and look, and we feel like we're getting the best quality. Also, one of the good things is we now have a barn, shed, that we actually put that in every night. It's not out in the weather. It's not sitting out there. So I believe it'll last longer.
And being that it's such a long-term investment, you feel that it will handle the growth of the city as we move forward?
Yes, and I actually talked to my foreman about that, asking, do we need possibly 2 of them? And we actually have just a jet truck for smaller things, but we need that big one. And you had asked me a question about the resale value of the other one. We didn't get any hits except for one. It was like $1,400. And so that wasn't any good. So I talked to the mechanics, and they said that we can actually get a whole lot more money by going out, auctioning it off.
Is there anything else, Miguel?
Unless y'all have some questions.
Yeah, okay. All right, council, do we have any questions on this item? Okay. Well, we don't need a vote on this item. We're going to go and close this one and move on to the next item on the agenda. So we'll go ahead and close item 12 and move on to item 13, which is to consider approval of resolution 2021-37 for reimbursement of tax note.
Basically, this is, since you've given us the authority to proceed on the last one, this gives us the authority to go ahead and purchase the truck since they do have it on the lot. And then once we get the proceeds from the tax note and the note, once we get that back in, we'll reimburse the fund balance so we don't lose the truck. So they could go ahead and purchase it, get it in, and get it used. And then since it will be towards the end of December when we get the money, when we get the funds for this.
Okay, thank you, Mikhail. You have a question?
I should have asked this when Anthony was up a while ago, but just a quick question on the new truck. Will it require any additional training for our personnel, or is it pretty much basic operation like the other truck we had?
Yes, so they're pretty basic, but they're willing to come and do a little more training, so that's in it.
Is there any further questions? Okay, well, the floor is open for a motion on this item.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2021-37 for reimbursement of tax note.
I second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion by Councilman Chappelle, second by Councilman Walker. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Okay, we'll now go ahead and close item 13 and move on now to item 14. Item 14 is consider awarding bid to perform annual appraisal service on all city property and authorize the city manager to negotiate the contract.
When I first got here, we've looked at some of the items on the, especially coming up with the winter storm when we had to look at the appraised values of what we had on the insurance. We had some of the items when we were getting the reimbursal on them, they were underappraised on our books. And so what this is to have a company come in and appraise all of the city's assets to make sure that what's on the books with the insurance company is what it actually costs to replace those and appraise those, so that if we ever do have a very another storm, or if something happens, a natural disaster or something, that we actually get reimbursed for what the actual cost is of the it takes to replace those. We had two different bids for appraisal services. We had one Duffs and Phelps, and then the other one was CBiz. The contract amount for Duffs and Phelps to come in and look at all of our assets, appraise them, and give us a value and on whether or not they're correctly recorded and whether or not we need to increase the insurance amount was $29,500. And so we recommend awarding that bid to Duffs and Phelps, and then authorizing the city manager to sign that contract with them so that we can get them going on. It's going to take them approximately 8 months to go through and look at every single building, every piece of equipment that we have to make sure that it's correctly appraised and update all our insurance schedules to match.
Mayor and council, this is something that is not always done, especially in smaller cities. We'll rely on TML to come out and sell us more insurance or raise the premium on different things or whatever. And having this third-party appraiser come out and look at all of our equipment, you kind of find out when you have a occasion like we did with the snowstorm that you have things undervalued, underinsured, and usually some stuff's not even insured. There's not even your ability to be able to do it. And so This is a really good thing to do every few years to make sure you're keeping up with your growth and your equipment and your buildings and so forth. So we highly recommend it.
Am I reading this right? After the initial cost for $1,500 a year, they'll update it annually? And does that include any assets that we might add, because there might be more to appraise?
Okay, council, we don't have any further questions. We'll open it up for a motion.
I'll move awarding the bid to perform annual appraisal services to Duff and Phelps.
I'll second that.
Motion made by Councilman Adams, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 Okay, motion carries unanimously. We'll now close that item on the agenda. Item 15 on the agenda is to consider approval of request for Airport American Rescue Act funding of $59,000 and authorize the Director of Finance to electronically sign for the grant.
The airport, the city got the ARPA funds, and the airport has had the opportunity to receive $59,000 for ARPA funds as well. I just need your permission to electronically sign to receive the grant funds on behalf of the airport to use for their operations. And if with your permission, then I will sign those papers and get those sent back so that we can receive the $59,000 for the airport.
Do we know what part of the operations they would be using these funds for?
It says they can use it for any operations as long as it belongs to the airport, and they can use it for any kind of capital debt service payment, basically anything that, as long as it is on the airport. So they can buy any kind of capital equipment or anything, but it has to be dedicated to the airport for use of the airport.
Okay. Okay, council, if we have no questions, the floor is open for a motion.
I move for the approval of the request for the Airport American Rescue Act funding for $59,000 and authorize the Director of Finance to electronically sign for the grant.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion by Councilman Walker, second by Councilman Chappelle. Madam Secretary, record a vote.
Aye.
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 Motion carries unanimously. Thank you, Ms. Reeves. Okay, we have now come to item 16 on our agenda, which is public comment. If we have anyone in the public that would like to approach the, please come up, state your name and address for the council. Make sure you mash the button in the center.
Yes, sir. My name is Jose Segovia. I live in 1912 Jean Drive, Mount Pleasant, Texas. I'm here as a concerned citizen and a concerned father. Yes, I am part of the soccer league. I'm part of the Booster Club. Part of a lot of leagues here coaching. I've been coaching since 12 years, 13 years. My older boy is 22 years. He's currently at West Point, serving 2 years now. So I've been coaching him since he was little. This is my younger boy. This is my young boy, 9 turning 10. We have a situation in our hands. Me being part of the league, I know I was notified, but I come here to you as a concerned citizen and a father, person that pays the taxes, person that wants to come meet and relate to y'all like what y'all doing, serve the community. My biggest philosophy is not to find the best superstar in sports, but the next neighbor. The next person is going to help the next person beside him, because that makes teamwork. That said, we come to an issue with the new soccer company. Right now what we have, I just came from my boys' soccer practice at Edwards Park. I got about 17 to 18 practicing there in the old baseball field with the lights. You know, the time change, we need lights. I dealt with this when I used to coach Little League football at old Sam Parker Field. We had no light. Now we do. Do they use them to practice there? No. They go out there because they just opened and I helped them with the new football traveling league. They didn't practice there because we were not allowed to use the lights. I have no authority of what happened there. They were practicing on the school ground. I already reached out to some of the school members. Do I need to go out there and get my soccer league of 60 plus kids for the city to go practice on school grounds to use lights? Or do I come and ask my board members in the city to not charge me $525 a night to use the lights? Now me, and a lot of people know me here, part of the board for soccer, but I come as a parent. You know, I even coach a 5-year-old kid team, and I had to be coaching in between right now I coached in between the 2 baseball fields, no nets or nothing, but we got a whatever complex out there with lights. I striped the fields. I used to turn on the lights once to twice a week. We had games. Now I am coming as a board member. I was told that our contract said that we only can turn the lights for games. But now, because we changed the word games to practice, or not striping, now I have to pay $525. I asked him if I can annulled, change the contract, do something for us. I got people going to tournament of champs that you go every fall. Practicing in fields are not adequate. That's just my concern. I need y'all help. I need somebody to guide me to what I can do for me to solve this problem. Like I said, I've been doing this for a long time. I don't know the politics of it. I know nothing. I'm just a concerned parent. So help me out.
You called Ricky?
Tried to contact Ricky, and I got the other lady, I forgot her name, Candace, and she told me that what was the contract was about. I said, I understand, ma'am, but I need to find a solution.
I'll have Ricky call you. We'll set up a meeting and meet with you. Or let me ask you, are all your members of your teams, they're all from city of Mount Pleasant?
Yes, sir. We got under 6,000 and so recreational, and I got more competitive. I even got at least 20 to 30 kids that sometimes register through us, but they are involved with other leagues. We don't have adequate facilities to contain our players. Our best players are going to FC Dallas. Our best players are going to Longview, Tyler.
But these are city of Mount Pleasant kids, you're saying?
All these are city of Mount Pleasant kids. They go to Mount Pleasant High School. If that will be a solution, I will gladly tell my board members. Now I am talking to board members. I will tell them, and we'll sit down and talk the solution.
Are you the president of the association or the chairman?
No, sir. I'm the vice president of the soccer league in Mount Pleasant.
So we might invite the chairman, president too, to come along, and we'll set up a time.
Thank you. Okay. Do we have anyone else that would like to come up at this time?
I have a question at this point. I'm not going to put on point. When Ms. Evenwell was here at the last city council meeting, there was a question about the CARES funding. Have we heard any more about it?
No. I know that Brady and several cities sent their money back. I think we haven't heard any more about it. We're moving forward, spending ours. They've never told us that we needed to. I know there's a big discussion. I think the thing they were concerned about, we do have to follow federal guidelines like we've always done in any grant that we get federal money from. But we've not heard anything specific about the mandate to give all of our employees vaccinations, other than the president's trying to get that done. Right now he's talking, OSHA's saying anybody that has any employees over 100, that's private companies. and so we haven't had any instructions about city government or county government, but except through our governor, who has said that is no mandate, and so we'll just have to deal with it when we do. But we got the grant last spring. We got the first check, 1.9 million, first part of the summer, or middle of the summer. The next check we get will be 1 point whatever million next spring, I think May or April. And so half of the projects we've got, we're moving on. We've even made some payments on some of the projects that we've got that they're paying for. So if there is an issue, we'll deal with it when it comes. But I don't think it's going to be any different than it is right now. We got a governor that's standing firm, and we got a president that kind of is too. So I don't think it's going to affect our money. Oh, and we talked to attorneys. We talked to Kerry, but we also talked to another attorney on this, and they said they didn't see, hadn't heard anything about it yet. They did not see. In fact, they're from Austin, I think, or San Antonio. But they said that they would check into it to see. But we're not getting out of TML, Texas Municipal League, any instructions to hold our money or to send it back. Some of the smaller communities, I think, would just soon send it back, as have to do the work it takes to get it approved and then to actually do the projects.
Okay, do we have anything else? Okay, if we have nothing else from the public, we'll go ahead and close that item on the agenda and move on to the city manager's report, which is item 17.
Yeah, Mayor and Council, we want to tell you you all know we got the lights on at the courthouse and at Caldwell Park, and we got the horses going and several food trucks, and we've had some trouble with the lights going out and so forth on the courthouse. We think we've got that remedied. The light guy was in here Sunday, and he's got a young man that he's trained that lives out here we'll have somebody to call that'll run over here right away to help us get them going if there's a problem rather than him. So we think we're on top of that, but I think it's going well. We get a lot of positive communication about how it's going and what we're doing. The other thing is next week is Thanksgiving. Happy Thanksgiving. We'll be closed Thursday and Friday.
Okay, do we have any questions for the city manager?
No, but I would like to say thank you to the employees that have been giving us the information about events. Helen, especially yours, was very comprehensive, and I certainly appreciate that. It's so helpful to us to know and remind us of what's going on a weekly basis around our city.
Okay. Thank you. At this time, we'll go ahead and close item 17 on the agenda. And at this time, the council will be going into the executive session. Pursuant to Open Meetings Act, Chapter 551, Texas Government Code, the City Council will recess into executive session, which is a closed meeting, to discuss the following: real property, discuss purchase, exchange, lease, or value of real property. Personnel matters, discuss the appointment, employment, evaluation, reassignment, duties, discipline, or dismissal of a public officer or employee, a city manager. At this time, the council will be going into executive session. The time is now 9:24. The council is reconvened. There's no action taken in executive session. The items that was on will be taken up at our next scheduled meeting. There is one item 18 on here, which is to consider appointment to fill a vacancy on industrial board of directors. Floor is open for a motion. I think we're going to move this one to next week.
I make a motion to table this.
Motion made by Councilwoman Sproul, second by Councilman Walker. Madam Secretary, record a vote, please.
Aye.
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 The vote is unanimous. We'll go ahead and close item 18 at this time. The council is adjourned.